yet another episode of Yet Another Beer Show. I'm JT.
I'm Colin.
And today we're about to review yet another beer. This week it is the Mirror Pond Pale Ale, a brewery called, I believe it's called Deschutes Brewery, based out of Bend, Oregon.
We had a little bit of fight as to whether or not it was Deschutes or Deschutes, but I'm probably wrong, so JT said it right, we think.
It is a difficult name to say, and there's no dictionary of brewery names.
The brewery dictionary.
Yeah.
But Mirror Pond is a brand that they have a few of. There's a few different Mirror Pond brews.
Okay.
But this is the IPA?
No, this is the Pale Ale.
This is just the Pale Ale.
And this is something that actually we've had before. I believe one of the other alternatives is in the Mirror Pond series, but we're gonna try out the Pale Ale. It's something we picked up at our local grocery store. Just a local brew that they often provide, and give it a shot.
Yeah, there's not really anything that right now that stands out distinguishing about it, but it should be kind of a rich flavor. It's a brewery that's been in business for a long time, so they've probably played with the recipes in a lot of different ways, but also have kind of a traditional style. It's a good pour there.
Yeah. After all this practice of being on the show, you get pretty good at pouring beers.
Well, he gets pretty good at pouring beers.
Well, sometimes you have to do a little research ahead of time, to find out about these beers.
Is this one that you pour down the side, pour down the middle?
Typically, just in terms of how I like to pour beers, what I found is you hold it probably like a 45-degree angle, pour the beer in, and it just flows naturally. Obviously, it flows. That's what beers do. But I usually tend to stick with the 45-degree angle, and when I get about halfway, just bring it back up.
So when you've got, what I'm saying is when you've got your buddy you've got a buddy who's like the historical terrible pourer, help him out. Don't just criticize.
Yeah.
Give him a strategy.
Yeah, and you know what? There actually is an art form to some of this. Actually, depending on the beer, on how you pour, it's how much air you get into the beer, and how much carbonation helps release the flavor of the beer. Just like wine, sometimes letting the beer sit out for a little while actually helps the taste of it. But that's another episode. The Mirror Pond, it's got a good head and a lot of trails when you do a little bit of spin there. But nothing that sits too long, so it shouldn't have too much residue in it. But it's got you can smell some of the hops like you can with a lot of pale ales. It's kind of it smells like yes, you do smell the hops, but it also has a light buttery smell, I would say.
Yeah.
It's very faint in the smell, but hopefully the taste makes up for that. Actually, it's a nice, refreshing beer.
It's a little bit palate cleansing, but the kind of, you said you can smell this kind of buttery flavor. It's a little bit buttery when you're drinking it, but not so much as to leave this thick aftertaste. So it's crisp. It's good to I don't know. That's weird to say, but it's fun beer to drink. It's very easy to drink. It's not.
Well, actually, this is a beer that's made out of what's called Cascade hops, and this is sort of a standard hops that are used in a bunch of different brews. And actually, previously on the show, we tried Cascade hops amber ale, and actually, I have to say that every time I've tried this type of hops that are brewed in beer, it's always just a very good, smooth flavor. You can brew it different ways, but the flavor has always just been nice and smooth, very crisp, and I would describe it it's just a very good summer-based beer, where if I was working in the yard all day, this would be a nice beer to have as a refreshing aftertaste.
Oh yeah, no, this would definitely be a great end-of-day beer. You've had a hard day at work, come in and do this. So if you've got, if you're someone who likes kind of a beer after work or a beer at the end of the day, kind of before dinner or whatever, you probably have, this kind of standard beer that you've had a bunch of times. I would say try and go get something like this. Go get something like the Mirror Pond. They have a few different things, but the Pale Ale so far is great.
Yeah, and it's not too heavy, so it's not going to sit with you for a while and you feel there's some heavy beers where you just sit like, once you have it, you're sitting back and just like, okay, I'm good for the rest
Right,
of it.
it's like a meal almost when you
Yes,
have it. But
exactly.
this is not like that. It's a light beer and it's not something you have to carry with you. It's a good flavor, good taste, easy to drink, and it's refreshing. It really is. I mean, I don't know exactly what the perfect serving suggestion is, but I recommend it as cold as you can get it, and it would, you know.
It's definitely something that it's probably better served cold, chilled. Temperature-wise, probably, you know, take it right out of the fridge, you know.
Right, and I also think it doesn't seem like it has to breathe for too long. So I mean, you can probably open one and drink it right out of the bottle if you don't have any glasses handy, and do it right away. I mean, I think the colder the better with this.
Agreed.
It's got a like nice caramel color, good, like just a really all-around solid beer.
So like every episode of Yet Another Beer Show, I approve.
I also approve.
Thanks for watching. That's Colin.
That's JT.
And you've watched another episode of Yet Another Beer Show. Be sure to check us out online at various social networks, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, something. But always check us out at yetanotherbiershow.com. You'll find us always up to date on everything Yet Another Beer Show, what we do.
Yeah,
Which
it's
is
the Mirror Pond Pale Ale. Try it out. It's delicious.
Cheers.